call to order the short-term rental fee and fiscal year 25 proposed budget workshop. Tuesday, August 13th and 24th, closing at 5:30. We'll start by Pledge of Allegiance, followed by morning silent meditation. Pledge of Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the flag of one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. First item is roll call.
Nichols?
Here.
Deputy Mayor Burton? Councilmember Dyer? Councilmember Freeman? Councilmember King? Here.
And next is excusing the councilmember to introduce Councilmember Freeman. Motion by Deputy Mayor Burton, second by Councilmember Hume. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Those opposed, same sign. Motion carries 4-0. And next item is additions, deletions, or changes to the agenda. None. Move on to item number 1, which is short-term rental fees. This is for June, July, and information to staff regarding possibly increasing short-term rental registration and renewal fees.
Council members watching at home. On July 9th, Councilmember Dyer requested staff research every municipality short-term rental registration renewal rates. Registration is $500 and renewal is $350. Analysis of 47 other states with short-term rental regulations indicate each size is under 20,000. The statistics are shown median registration rate is 588 and 450. However, I think the tables that Mr. Covert assembled, this one for the registration gives a better picture. This far left-hand column is 0 to 20,000 population. And then in the center right there is IHD, and you'll see a cluster of initial registration fees in the $750 to $800 range. With one over $800, and then the cluster under $300,000. And similarly, the renewal has a little bit broader distribution, but still a cluster around $500 renewal and $150 renewal, with ours at $50 in the middle. Staff request correction on how council would like us to proceed.
Okay, thank you.
This first column right there, 0 to 200,000. This is where we fall 0 to 20,000 population. And it was interesting, the larger the cities, the lower the rates. I think we all know the impact of a small community with disruption, whether noise, short-term rental, or whatever, can have unlimited staff. My initial thoughts when I saw this is that you're seeing that cluster of smaller beachside communities having the highest rates because it's most taxing their organization.
Thank you. Any more comments? I want to make sure that you don't do is where you can something losing fees. What's out there, some communities, basic market, useful potentially limited to certain elementary basic fees, real thing, clustering, renewal fees, that's about as far as 700. Part of this is not many times you respond to get front view thought.
Well, my feeling is that with the price of everything going up right now, that we haven't had an increase since 2017. So it is time to raise those rates just because the cost of government is costing more and more. I was looking also at a English registration fee of $700, and I was looking at a little bit more for the main registration fee of $600. That was my feeling. That I'm open to discussion.
So originally, we were talking about the price of was going up, but also that's a good graph of some of the dynamics in our city portrayed on that. With the surrounding cities having regulations against them, the numbers have grown almost double each year. The city rolled out a very nice website showing the map of all over in the area, and there's entire neighborhoods short-term rentals because, like I said, the other cities, like those who entire neighborhood will put the bottom line up and that causing so because and also some of these are charging $700 a night, anywhere from $200, $300, $700 a night. So it's just very appealing for them to make that kind of commercial money and not have to pay commercial fees either.
So I think more and more this goes on, the less families were living in the area. And that's why most of us buy here, because we want to raise our kids next to families with kids and not, trying to see people. So that's why I proposed the doubling the fees of 1,000 initially and 700 for the annual renewal.
Yeah, I'd be curious to know what the school enrollment rate is now, what the trend is, and how much is it. If it's trending downward, by how much moderate amount, or is it a more substantial decrease? And what to do is if they try to or most families that are in these days over.
Well, isn't there a movement seem like there is this question, isn't it less signatures to qualify this year because there's less registered voters because you keep moving out than it was last year?
All I can say for sure is yes, the less registered voters, or yes, not less, because the 73,000.
So the numbers are going down because we're losing on the because it is a tool. Yeah. That's just fine.
Do you know how much certified points decreases?
I want to say like 8 to 9%. We lost like 64 or 600 voters.
About 500.
So I think there was a decrease between 8 and 9% of registered voters.
An increase in short-term vote.
I'm going to stick by my initial statement of some individual environments to do. Folks that come from like the not entitled to make their terms with the government. I'm not going to be in favor of doing something to justify that's fine, but by the same token, I want to be careful about every time I do stuff is either not right or not accurate. You can't control it. It's sometimes that's a reasonable increase in the problem that be concerned about is
No one, I don't want to punish any business owner, just nice opinion, like I said, you can make the initial annual fee in one night. It's just, you have to do something to make it less appealing. Not say going to increase. That's all.
Well, this is off the record, but next week.
This last week, but it's off the record as far as I'm concerned, with one thing. Neighbor passed away, and her son, vacation home. Very nice people, everything like that. And so we're on the books, and we're going to have it, and we need to put ourselves in the best position for income to take care of these rentals. We do have police that do go out, and they need to go ahead and the city needs to be compensated for the time it takes to support these programs. I would support our mayor in going not to 1,000, but I would support our mayor going to 750. I think 750 and 500 to me just makes sense, and get on a process of what we're going to do the next year, where we're just going to tie to CPI index or some index, and it just automatically goes up. John, you may have a recommendation on what index will you tie to.
there's various forms we can look into that if you want. I believe we adopted these new resolutions, so we would have to get creative in revising the resolution once they come out versus having a standing resolution each September to adjust the CPI recommendation. That probably would be annual. If you want to adjust it this year, one of the whereas we're going to come to adjusting the yearly per CPI index, and we just got the military, the budget, personnel, plan, and went to
At least we take out a situation that was in, it's just slide it through there and just go get it on one piece of the
Councilmember Donald, what was your idea for the re-registration fee?
just knowing
It's my feeling that, of course, we want to safeguard our homes here for families, but I'm thinking that when we look at these charts, that we don't want to be at the very top of the zone. I think nor do we want to be at the bottom. There's always finding a sweet spot. I'm almost thinking, the more I think about it, that a $700 initial, but then an annual registration fee of the very same amount of $700.
Ms. Franco is in charge of this whole criminal process. She can delve into that, but I believe that probably was the rationale of the initial registration fee to hire more time involved with the cases.
Yes, we do have an entire registration process where if they fill out the application, they have to submit all of the initial paperwork, which includes the information to the guest that talks about what you can and cannot do, their name, their address, how to get to the local hospitals, the evacuation, the phone line where they have to register that with EOC and City of Melbourne for notices. They have to submit paperwork at the hotel. This is how you get out of this room safely in case of emergency. So we have to verify all of that information. And once we have everything we need, then we notify the fire marshal that she can go out and do her initial inspection for her life safety. For renewal, they pay us and we tell them if we can go inspect.
Yes, I want to be in line with the opinion of cost incurred. Something else.
Reviewing the short-term rental research, I guess that there's a town of Princeton Beach, for instance, that has an initial registration fee of $750, and their annual registration is also $750. Their population is less than 2,000. It's just one example of many, but and actually these rates are all over the board. I do feel like there is an initial, I realized there was a little more paperwork with the initial than the renewal, but there is a precedent. There are examples where they're the same, and that's what I would lean to. The $750 range, and that would put us in a very good spot up there on the tracking with other cities under 20,000 population.
So, I can understand some of your reservations about not wanting to be leading the edge on some of these issues. Governing is always about compromise. So, I can understand maybe 750 initially and then 500, and then you can evaluate as it expands moving forward based off the number of income. I move that we're going to have the initial rate of 750 and the current rate, renewal rate of 500.
Mayor, we are in a workshop, so we can hold the motion.
How would you like to handle it? Consensus? I'd be on both, right? 750 and 500.
If I may add just one thing, just for the record, that we still need to advocate with the state because it is a state issue, it's state-owned, and we need to, with that family disputes, still advocate for that we can manage those rentals and get all regulations with how many we can have in the city and that type of thing. We still need to work on that.
Okay. Moving on to item number 2, fiscal year 25 proposed budget. This is to review fiscal year 25 proposed budget and direction of staff. So we have it go.
What started on December 12th, we are now in the home stretch. Tonight we will review the proposed budget, adopt the stormwater rate and roll of 715, and number adopt the millage rate and budget. I provided a PowerPoint presentation in the packet, and I'm not going to read all these slides. For the sake of it, for questions, I can go back to specific slides. We'll review this year, is looking to end about where we thought we would end. The big variance for all funds is the $3 million in grant funding projects that we budgeted to receive reimbursement that we're going to do construction for next year. So that shortage is not unexpected. Likewise, on the expenditure side, the $3.9 million in savings is actually $3 million in expenditures that will come from next year, and salary savings as we talked about before, and the stormwater Harbour projects are projects that will be completed next year. In then this slide just goes into a little more detail. Category level showing governmental revenue, where those grant projects were funded. The bump in miscellaneous income is largely related to the corporation's donation of $200,000 to offset the purchase of the truck. On the expenditure side, once again, you see the big chunk is in capital projects, in public works plays, salary savings, recreation, general government, and other projects that will be completed next year. Proposed fiscal year 25 revenue side, this compares to adopted budget, again, health and marine is the governmental revenue, which is those grant projects. Interest is coming down because we've been spending the ARPA money down. And everything else is pretty much in line with their expectations. On the expenditure side, the outline of the budget document, we've done some reallocation of where we budgeted in front of expenditure. That's why Mr. Hamilton's department goes from $200,000 to $500,000. It's not that it's from an spending spree, but things that he's been historically responsible for departments are now in his department. Likewise, there's some reallocation between public works locations and the summary, I'm going to just skip right through this very quickly. Continued debt free status, proposed millage rates we talked about the last meeting. Stormwater increase of $27 million a month, increases in recreation and building department fees, continuation of funding of the school resource officer, shared victim advocate, claims use of transportation impact fee money. We have approximately $550,000 sitting at the county of the city's transportation impact fee money, just for comparison. Projected increases in health insurance, liability property insurance. Payroll increases of 2%, COLA for all employees 3%, progression, fully funding review, increases will include money to address 1/3 of the efficiencies in department director pay, money to slot key members into steps within the existing company, and 2.5 FTE in these retirement is rather constant, with the exception of a bump in increased pension contributions. And as we talked previously in this process, we no longer are rebudgeting projects that we don't complete, but we will roll those forward in the budget and property valuations continue to grow at a more realistic pace now. We anticipate it to continue in future years, and will possibly slower if the constitutional minimum passes and debt-free state attention to inflation. General fund revenues, once again, everything is skewed because of those grant-funded projects last year. We do anticipate roughly $1 million in new revenue with millage rate, homesteaded properties. Let's see a 2.67% increase in the bill. An example, $515,000 now $1,000 tax bill assessed from the next for $642. Slight growth in utility service taxes, fees, franchise fees, and interest decline. This is a nice little chart showing you the distribution. I tried to start the nickel and cheap dollar at 30 cents, but it didn't stick, so I won't go in 30 cents anymore. It just doesn't seem to be the hip hop like the problem. This shows the changes in departments. A lot of this is related to reallocation of the premises that we talked about. Summary, the FY25 proposed budget is balanced, but there is a contingency of $457,000. That is the typical city manager's contingency that we see throughout the year. Take from and put back in. Money for the police step adjustments is in there under department justice code, and also reserve money for unforeseen projects or project overages. I've listed the capital projects. We are in the process of the second goal is of applying for a $200,000 grant for our downtown. We're also applying for a $112,000 grant for Beacon Park, so hopefully we can knock a third of the local cost also for our downtown project. And then list all the smaller projects because we want that by PowerPoint to happen. Stormwater utility fund, proposed budget $332,000, which is lower than last year because we had some partially grant funded projects. The assessment rate is projected to go up to $72 per ERU. An additional increases are recommended for future years. Expenditure efficient for fiscal general, rainwater, water board, effort, grant programs, additional funding for raffle box launch, roll forward. We did recently apply to do the water quality grant to try to increase more money. Harbour fund. We'll have a budget of $74,000, but we'll roll $1.8 million into it in November. That already lost the Harbour funding. On the personnel side, all departments, with the exception of recreation, continue to operate at employee full time. The proposed additions is 9 months of a new police lieutenant position, part-time maintenance director, public works, 3 months of a full-time maintenance director for increased common area maintenance needs expanded on downtown. Additional funding for crossing guards and recreation department. This is something we started this year with in the budget of opening the gates and closing the gates on weekends and holidays. And then we'll extra part-time funding for general county as well. Previously, we had funded fire chief and public works admin system. This project was fully funded, $12 million positions. I've listed some initiatives. I will skip through a lot of these. We are looking at low-cost, effective ways of increasing communication with residents. 2 of those is the planned conversion of the fast lane back to a public weekly newsletter, which has like statistical recap preview of capital projects that residents can sign up to be emailed. And a monthly little video discussion now that we are fireside chat. So folks who like to get their information by video that the topic of the month or whatever can be viewed on the youth. Future challenges, we doing the flows of minimum wage. This is the year compression of the lowest wage price. Pay grade 1 will not have the typical range that all the other pay grades will have this next year. And in the next 2 years, pay grade 2 and 3 will likewise have a 30% higher starting pay. So it shouldn't have that much of an impact, but it is something that's not ideal. Cybersecurity is always something that keeps Dominic up at night, and I like to talk with people on the weekends. Getting phone calls from Chief Butler or Don Hamilton or three phone calls I take, but I don't like to take because usually that makes that I don't get those so often. Recruitment and retention of volunteer firefighter is about 26 right now. 9 is certified. In early 2025, Chief will also be making presentations about staffing at the fire station. And the water quality project, multi-million project, we don't know if it's delayed, increased cost. Succession planning, I put that out there because in 4 to 6 years, half the people in this room might not be here. And it's something that we work on to find cost-effective ways. One way that most groups don't see is, unlike Seattle, we don't have an assistant manager, but we have a police chief who can fill that role in short term. And he has a deputy police chief. So when I'm not available, Chief Miller's watching my job, Deputy Chief Lexi is watching his job. That's one way we try to cost effectively build depth where it doesn't come up close. And key dates of first public hearing on the budget in military will be September 11th, and the second will be Monday, September 23rd. And that concludes my report, and I always point out that my group this season is much more demanding and about the training. So with that, my staff and I are here to answer any questions.
Okay. Thank you. And one question I think I have is there's mention of a part-time person for maintenance of that property. Is that being budgeted for this coming fiscal year? I'm just curious as to what the timeline is for actual construction. So would it be done to the point where that person would be necessary?
That is the question. It's a full-time position that we are budgeting only 3 months for, because realistically, I think the soonest outbound when you can open would be July of next year. We will have a contract by the end of December. The question then comes into is, we're going to interfere how quickly the contractor can mobilize that work. We may find out that we don't need this position. We will not hire this position if there's delays in the process.
My feeling is, what is the gate situation now at the park? Yeah, I'm not open.
As of right now, Public Works, the hours are presented. I think it's 4:30 or 4 o'clock 2 days a week. 3 days a week it's open at noon. We have Saturday and Sunday open non-stop. So Chief and I work together to put, like John said, some crossing guards to do the opening and closing. That's what he was talking about on the weekend. So I don't have to hire a new person. That's what those hours are that John's speaking of. Right now, it's open only when Public Works opens, just because they're there. And most weekdays, we've got some kind of club out there, whether it's soccer or baseball. So they just go ahead and make sure, because that's where the end of week play. It's the way they work. So they would kind of lock the doors at the end of week play, and then the police department goes back through about 10 o'clock and double check to make sure they stay up and locked. That answers your question.
It does. It does, because I thought more rather than hiring new personnel to do that job, that maybe through the week Public Works could open the gate and maybe on the weekends the police department, just as part of their normal checking on things throughout the city. It's just a tiny savings, but it's something.
Waiting for her open up the gate. So she gets there, people are waiting, and the gate sometimes has to go out, and get ready to close it. So people are using it. People are there in the morning waiting to get in, to inspect first, and those people are now, and people come to them just after the shoot. So it's actually not that.
Yeah, nothing coming. I thought it was really, when I was going through the stuff and I was going through really right on prayers. And anytime one of the policemen or one of the people in our community that work here has something special, like that person saving that person's life, You know, police get a bad rap depending on where you're at. And people don't really realize, not only police, but public works and everybody that because actually when they do something special, they don't even get the word out to our residents and that type of thing. It's just lack of know. And we need to know and we appreciate them also.
Okay.
I also wanted to discuss the removal of the pepper trees in Gleason Park. My constituents are often talking to me about that issue and how it will be done. And so I just wanted to clarify that with green space becoming less and less, it's an important thing to consider to keep as much foliage as we can. I know pepper trees are invasive, but as one of our residents emailed us this week, at what point do they become, if you look at aerial photos of the area from before we were a city, they were there. At what point do they become non-invasive? And so I just like to know that great care will be taken on removing what has to be removed, and that that's provided for in the budget.
Tom? Walk through the park, and there's one tall pepper tree. There is any natives that in on it, see it chokes out. If I want to tell you, there's an oak tree on there, you're probably see that. That was one by the tree because of the pepper tree. We're not going to take out anything that's not invasive. I mean, if there's natives, there's oaks in there, there's palm trees in there, we're not touching it. All we're doing is removing the pepper tree. And there are a few carrot trees in there that are invasive as well. That's all we're taking out. We're not taking anything out. Everybody thinks we're white things. We're not. Just to let you know, real quick, there's land out there. There's 4 boroughs out there now that weren't there before. This is what I was talking about. Maybe the owners would speak to some advocates because they would like to move on the country for the country. Very screening, expensive youth, and Harbour. that meantime, when I'm doing the regulars, I'm on the side of the time. Everything's getting emails and calls about my training, because the landscape is becoming a lot of lineups and buses and I should have put this thing, but I'm not going to stop them from standing for that's fine. A lot of positive stuff because now they can see exactly what we're doing. The use we're trying to find, the best that we can, but we don't have realization of that. We may not do well. We may come over, we really don't want to be thought, but that's going on in the certain things on the side. So we're doing everything we can to make us, maybe last time we go over there, but some of the what these are native trees that are doing unbelievable in these conditions that we're doing. Now, we've been around really what is this not long ago, this would be the one that was suggesting that the residents want to all that burn. But I wasn't going to argue with them, I was going to keep them just start with them, and that's how we fix our group. So, just doing everything we can to make it less of a secret from all the history that we're doing. It's also painful. It's a nightmare. I'm getting somewhere out of Russia. That's a fire out there. That's not fire. My mind was very strong. Because that's just the only thing that people first signs don't go through the roof. Because we don't maintain that. That's just another concept. Now, as we get further down to the playground, it comes out. There's a lot of ponds in there. We're not touching any of that. We're just going to have spots here which come up to community.
So there's selective clearing, in essence, selective clearing going on, leaving the natives in place, and you're replanting areas for the food.
That's correct, yes. We're going to have stuff that will go, not to do this out. Right now, we're going to do it. I don't know if I'm going to adjourn it, but it's going to be overtime the next day. I'm trying to keep it super as possible for my dogs. So we're doing everything that we can to help them understand people don't want to change, but we don't have to continue to do it.
Thank you.
Okay. That was it. Good job, everybody. That's what we're going to do. I'm not sure what the left is to get to them. I was going to say, just move forward. Okay. Next is public comments. Anyone from that public actor wish to come to speak? Okay. Okay. Thank you. And what is your name and address? Carolina. And your address? Okay. Thank you. Okay. There are no other public comments, and I'm going to turn it over to you. Motion for Executive Curtin, second by Councilmember Dyer. Those in favor signify by saying aye. Those opposed, same sign. Motion carries 4-0.